News at 2 o'clock. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
That's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
And then he couldn't fire his glutes later.
Matt Hayes.
His balls are different in person.
And Leon Searcy.
So they were smelling themselves.
Oh, my gosh.
With no deal.
How you like me now?
The balls were different in person today. I will tell you that. There were some good ones, and there might have been a couple that could have gone the other way for a long way. But it's just the first day. Okay, that's what practice is about. Welcome into XL Primetime. We're all pumped up. We've done some conditioning earlier today, first day of training camp. We saw a ton of Jaguar fans, a ton of teal at the Mecca as it is on, baby. It is on. We got reaction from practice today that we definitely want to tear into, and we would love for you guys to be part of it as well. Since you were in the crowd, you can easily join in, or if you've been checking things out on social, we'd love to hear from you. 641-1010, that is the number to hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, a golf club of Southampton Wednesday. I'm fired up, fellas.
Some of us are fired up.
Yeah.
Apparently, one RJ Saunders is, I don't know what's going on, man. What's going on with you in there, man?
I had to check his temp.
You all right, bro?
I'm fine.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Right,
Leon, hey, Leon, let me tell you something, Leon. Let me break it down like this.
Oh, you're going to break it down?
Yeah, you was in here. You was in here on time.
Mm-hmm.
So hello to you.
Yeah.
I got two stragglers over here.
That's because we were in there producing.
They were in there producing, bro.
Yeah,
I understand, man, but come on.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Start, we got. If you're on time, if you're early, you're late if you're on time.
Well, listen, I was going to wing it. It didn't matter. I was
going to play some P-Funk.
No doubt you would have.
Oh, absolutely. I would have pulled it off. I was waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah, and I guarantee you somewhere in the middle of it, we would have said, I see you, RJ, in there.
Exactly.
No, listen, we were in there producing an award-winning segment in the podcast room, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
And so we came off of the field, had a conversation with Mitch Morse, so I'll make sure that you guys get to hear that, one of the newest Jacksonville Jaguars. And then we've got all sorts of reaction, like we said, from the actual practice today. And the pads aren't on yet. I know that. I'm not going to get over the top excited, but I do like what I see, Leon. Let's just get into the competition, the flow of the practice, the tempo.
Well, I mean, listen, it was good to see. Listen, it was good to see the Jaguar fans there too, because they were engaging. We went down there when it was red zone and they were doing 7-on-7. Every touchdown or every defended pass, they were celebrating. So it was great energy between the team and the fans, the way they cohabitated, so to say. But yeah, it was some good. Listen, training camp, you amp it up now. I mean, the competition, the level of intensity has been amped up. I didn't see this kind of stuff maybe in OTAs or maybe in mini camps.
Right.
These guys realize that that training camp is the means to the end. Because everybody, listen, if there's anybody out there that loves training camp, they've never gone through training camp. All right, I hated training camp, but I understood that the means to the end was to get to the season. I loved playing football.
Right.
All right, so those guys, a little chirping going on, a lot of defending, a lot of getting after each other. So it was real healthy to see that today.
Yeah, I tell you what, Matt, when you're looking around, you're seeing a lot more guys that you see making plays or see challenging for playing time, and they're mixing it up. It's not like they're going to run all the ones through and through on either side of the football, and we're going to learn a little bit more about what Ryan Nielsen's defense looks like, but there's possibilities all over the place in terms of talent.
Yeah, there is. I mean, it's day one, so it's the guys are still feeling out process. There are guys that look good out there, though. I'll tell you that. Christian Kirk looks really good. Looks, healthy. And Devin Lloyd is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
He's a different size guy right now. And I was talking with Searcy about this. He's a guy, you just stick him on the edge and say, get the quarterback. I don't know why that is not.
Well,
I don't know why. I know, but my point is, they're in 7-on-7. He's playing linebacker again. They're running zone. They're running a red zone defense, and it's not who he is, man. Stick him on the edge. Go get the quarterback.
Are you saying he could be Michael Parsonish?
I'm saying if you watch his tape in college, he was a disruptive guy from all over the field. They played him all over the line of scrimmage and linebackers, and they blitzed him. Get him to the quarterback. He knows how to disrupt plays.
First off,
that's my point.
First day.
I know it's the first day.
It's the first day.
I know it's the first day. I'm just saying.
It's a brand new coordinator.
It jumped out at me because he is a large man.
Yeah,
he can run.
Like I look and see a lot of these guys that look like they've gained weight. They put good weight on. Devin Lloyd sat in our studio during the offseason, and he definitely said that the off-season work that he's done to add weight, to gain muscle, that he loves where he's at physically. But, man, I got to wait and see. The thing that I really enjoyed watching defensively is a lot of the calls, a lot of the action, the activity on that side of the football to move people around. Let's see what Ryan Nielsen can exotic up when it comes to Devin.
And there was a lot of turnovers there, too, in the red zone.
Yes, sir. Darby made a nice play.
A lot of broken up passes, a lot of pick passes, all that, a lot of strip passes. I'm like, okay.
Darby made a nice break and interception.
Absolutely.
On that one throw by Trevor.
Yeah, what I'm noticing in defensively, active hands. That's what I'm noticing. I'm noticing active hands. I'm noticing guys getting after the ball, defending the ball, and intercepting the ball. So that's good to see.
Yeah, when you think of a couple of them that jumped out at me, Trevor, I just love watching the guy play, and just you want to get a feel and see what this offense is going to look like in terms of its growth this year. We saw it last year. We thought that he was going to have an unbelievable year. We all know what happened towards the end with injuries. But a couple of plays where there were picks, Ronald Darby picked off a pass where Trevor was on Gabe the entire time. He never looked away from zero, and it was an easy play for Darby to make. Well, that's practice. That's what you're supposed to deal with and go through. And it's funny because I'm watching as it goes along, and Trevor's like, okay, remind myself. As good as I either am or can be, I need to remind myself. I got to go through my progressions. I got to look around and see what else is open, what else is out there. And it looked like he was just trying to feed one guy. There was a play to Brian Thomas, a nice, beautiful little kind of semi-arcing fade into the corner of the end zone. Tyson Campbell made himself a play against Brian Thomas Jr. Just pulled that ball right out of his mitts. So there was a lot of good action. You know, the thing that jumped out at me is that red zone is a place where they weren't necessarily successful last year as much as they wanted to be. That is going to be a major emphasis this year.
Yeah, and it was good to see them work on it. I'll be very interested to see it once they get the pads on, because this team struggles so mightily on short yardage. I want to know if that's going to be an emphasis. I'm sure it's going to be an emphasis, but if it was me and it's not, if I was the head coach and I know that we struggled on 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1 and all that kind of stuff, the first day in pads, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing short yardage goal line, going after it. I mean, I'll be very because the coaching staff understands their deficiencies, and they're going to work on them. You know, I know you say you don't want to remember the past and all that; it's all behind you, whatever. Right. But your deficiencies last year is the fact you couldn't score in the red zone, couldn't get short yardage, couldn't get goal line. So I'll be very interested when the pass come on. I would love to see some live goal line. Absolutely, would love to see some live goal line. Getting them get after it.
You know that's not happening.
Listen, wishful thinking. That's what I'm hoping. An old lineman, make an old lineman's dream. Make an old lineman's dream come through.
You know that it's going to be a lot of thud.
Okay.
Well, I think that's they've got to commit to those precious yards and those precious moments in a ball game, and I do think that's going to be a main focus.
Well, here's the problem: if you say there's just going to be thud, that's the problem the offensive line has right now is that they do thud. If you don't go live, then how do you get?
Yeah, they are.
Don't look at me. Blame the Players Association.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be beyond a thud. They're going to
hit. Have to get after it. They don't have to get after it.
They're not going to be necessarily bringing guys to the ground every time.
I'll have some of that.
Yeah.
You want to put a little wager on that?
Yes, absolutely.
You want to put a wager they want to go live, go line?
There's no way they're going at it.
I really do, man.
Beyond a thud is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about tackling the running back. I'm talking about the live offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's happening.
There's no individual drills live like that, but I don't think they're doing team.
So. All right, well, good.
I might be wrong.
You're buying his lunch.
I just know this. Routinely, when coaches, whatever they struggle with it in last year, they have a tendency to emphasize it early. Well, just me. They emphasize it early in training camp. Mm-hmm. So if you struggle short, larger goal line, that's what we're going to do.
Well, like per the CBA, can they hit like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like that's what I'm saying. I don't know that they can. I don't know if they're allowed to hit like that. I think is my point.
Well, you can go live all the way until take it someone to the ground.
Yeah, they're going to go team, and they're going to go. Yeah, they're going to go team, and they're going to go full 2 or 3 seconds. You got to go full 2 or 3 seconds to get a flip and play off.
True.
And so, yeah, they are going to have some hand-to-hand combat with pads on interiorly or really across the board on that offensive line. And look, you're already seeing some of it, even without pads. They're pretty physical, and that's the part that I like. I don't know how good they're going to be, how much they're going to fix either getting to the quarterback or protecting the quarterback, but I am definitely looking forward to seeing how that goes down. All right, so you guys hit a 641-1010. If you were out there, some of the areas, some of the positions, some of the stuff that you saw that you liked, I don't necessarily have one guy that I'm going to lock in on, but I'm going to name this one dude already.
All right.
Training camp Trammell. Okay? Training camp Trammell.
The guy makes one catch in the end zone. Joe's on him.
It was beautiful.
On him now.
And by the way, there were 2 or 3 guys where the defensive back made the play and got the ball out of his hands. Seth Williams looked like he was going to have one in his hands. BTJ looked like he was going to be able to do it. A couple of other guys. Training camp Trammell. He held on to it.
Okay.
He held on to it.
That was in the back of the end zone, wasn't it?
You know who he's talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. I saw the catch. Yeah, absolutely.
It was right at the end. It was beautiful.
I saw it, yeah.
It was very nice.
It was a nice catch.
And so I'm just going to roll with it. And Mac Jones threw a pick right there at the goal line. Christian Braswell stepped in front of it. It was an easy pick, in fact. Mac threw a couple of them, and that's the stuff that's haunting him right now. But he's going to get as many reps in as he can. With this staff and good coaching and see where, after all, these are offensive coaches coaching him, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So he at least has a chance to clean that stuff up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you practice.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you make the mistakes now, so come week 1, you've got it all out your system, sort of to say.
Yeah, so I just want to know if you guys were out there, if you did see a little bit in terms of energy, efficiency, just the tempo and temperature of the practice, what you liked, what you were thinking about when you saw it, anything like that. 641-1010, you can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can jump in on YouTube. All you got to do is stream us, and we'll be talking about Jaguars pretty much every single show, and then we'll start to weave our way through everything else that's going on, including the ACC kickoff, Big Ten Media Days, all that stuff that's going on in your college football world. Say thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. They bring you today's show, and if you want to head on out this afternoon, we're looking at a good night. You know what? We were actually walking last week or on the 17th hole, and I looked around at the fellas, and I'm like, feel the breeze? Feel the breeze? It's July. And it was 7 o'clock, and you felt a nice little breeze as you were playing. So you can come on out and enjoy it. 2-8-7 play. Get on the tee sheet, and there'll be a 9-hole game, a little food afterwards, prizes. It's always fun. Love seeing a lot of XLPers out there, so do it tonight if you can. All right, we're going to stay on camp, talk about some of the guys, position groups that jumped out at us day 1 as your Jaguars get rolling here in 24.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. 1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
It's the stories that you tell. So much fun and imagination.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
I want to party with you, cowboy.
Mornings on 1010XL.
The two of us together? Forget it.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hayes. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing will last 2 to 3 times longer than a shingle roof? If you want a better roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Schedule your free estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loans, and personal loans. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
She's very comfortable talking sports and hanging out with the boys.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
The saying goes, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, that is actually true if your neighbor installed artificial turf. Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Sunshine Turf, a family-owned local company that will take your backyard dreams and turn them into a reality. Caleb can design anything from putting greens to pet runs, and if you have a pool, you'll definitely love maintenance-free turf around it. Visit sunshineturf.info to get a free quote today from Sunshine Turf. That's sunshineturf.info.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer is here on the First Coast. You know, long days, short sleeves, and soaring temperatures that can do a number on your AC. If you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Hope is not a plan, so do what I did and plan ahead with an expert AC tune-up from Fenwick Home Services to avoid those costly summer breakdowns. Fenwick has you covered with same-day service, including maintenance plans, free same-day estimates, and guaranteed repairs. Book your expert tune-up today and avoid costly breakdowns tomorrow. Plan ahead instead of hoping for the best. Online at FenwickHomeservices.com. That's FenwickHomeservices.com.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Cruising along on the first day of training camp, and a lot of fans fired up. And you know what I like? Pulling into the lots and seeing cars everywhere. Fans getting out on foot, heading into the Mecca. Everybody charged up, looking at some of those throwback jerseys. By the way, was Big Surse not the talk of a lot of either the fans that were out there or the media? Oh, give him a round of applause, RJ, because the throwback jerseys, were a hit.
Here's the thing. The interesting thing about doing that video or whatever, now I got some new fans, right? Because the people that are my age, you know, they recognize me from back in the day, but I had little shorties scrolling up on me and said, I saw you, Big Sirs. I didn't know you had bars. I said, hey, I got some.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
It was good, man.
Yeah, all right. Cool. So we'll stay on training camp. You guys can hit us 641-1010 with some thoughts or in the YouTube chat. But let's do this right now.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, the betting odds for the first head coach to be fired are out right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Are we talking
It's
NFL
not
or
good
college?
No, we're talking about college. It's not good
All
for
right.
the state of Florida, all right? We've got some candidates at the top, all right? At 4-1, the betting odds for Florida coach Billy Napier is at top. He's at the top, 4-1.
Wow.
All right?
Billy Napier is saying no to that right now.
Yeah, Sam Pittman, friend of the show, 5-1 odds of getting fired. At number 3, at 6-1, Mario Cristobal.
So that's
University
two.
of
How
Miami.
about that? So that's 2 out of the top 3 in the state of Florida.
6-1. All right. Ryan Day is at 12-1. 12-1, Ryan Day. Let me see. Dave Aranda from Baylor, he's 7-1. Clark Lee from Vanderbilt, he's 8-1.
And you know the thing with Aranda is he came in there.
They're not firing him.
I know, but he came in there. They paid him a lot, so they're probably not.
Yeah.
But he came in there red hot, off of Eddio's.
Matt Rule's players. That's why.
Yeah. But was it Eddio's defense, or was it?
No, he came. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was Eddio's defense. Anyway, he came off of Eddio's defense. In 19, do I have this right?
2019.
Yeah. So he came off of a national championship winning defense, and then he went to Baylor, and then he immediately turned it around and has had 2 suck years since then, or 3 suck years since then.
Well, there's some also other recognizable.
Real quick, Leon. Real quick.
Go ahead.
His quarterback then, Blake Shapen, the new Mississippi State quarterback.
Oh, okay. So he's the one who came over. That's right, from Baylor.
Go ahead. Sorry, Leon.
No, you're good. No, there's some other recognizable names on this list too. All right, they got Shane Beamer at 16-1, South Carolina coach. They got Dabo in here, 25-1.
Really?
Yes, they do.
That's outrageous.
It is outrageous.
That's almost blasphemous.
Yeah,
actually.
Lincoln Riley's at 25-1, and then they've got Deion Sanders at 50-1.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, before we go any further,
none of those are happening at the bottom.
What do you got going here, man? You got a soul button going?
I don't know what it is.
It looks pretty good.
You know, I
Stay
just
with it.
You know what? I couldn't get my goatee to connect.
Yeah.
So I just, let this ride out, bro.
It's a soul button. Looks
the
good.
soul button?
Man.
Yeah. I groom it. I brush it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's like a pet to me now.
All right.
As Deion Sanders once said, he goes, it's an accessory.
I will say
That's
this,
all
like we've been talking for the last 3 months, how big that game is. I mean, if that's the reality, that Napier is number 1 and Crystal's number 3 as far as who's going to get fired, I mean, that game is just gigantic, is it not?
Yeah, it is gigantic. But like you were saying, Miami can
recover easier.
They can recover easier because the schedule is soft.
Right.
All right. I saw the back end of Florida schedule with Georgia and Ole Miss and Texas and LSU and Florida State.
They better worry about the front end, too, with Kentucky and Tennessee and
true.
Miami and
Absolutely.
Texas A&M.
I absolutely agree.
And UCF.
Yeah. But I look at the Miami schedule right now. Mario can't lose more than 2. Can't do it. He got to make the playoffs. Got to win the ACC.
Yeah, they will not run him out, but I get exactly what you're saying there. Is that it is. And by the way, we rolled through that bad boy where it looks like if they were to win the opener, which we all know how big that is, that's not an easy place to win on the road. But if they were to win that opener, then he could stitch together a bunch of dubs against 0 L's.
Just think about what happened last year. Last year, Texas A&M comes in. They're 25th in the country. They beat them. They ride the wave.
Yeah.
They win the next couple of games or whatever, and then you come to Georgia Tech and you lay an egg.
Yeah.
And then after that, the whole season unraveled. They could have went 5-0. Yeah. The whole season unraveled after that. They went 2-5 after that, including the bowl game.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, that's El Succo.
Yeah.
It really is when you think about it. But that's how big this game is and how quickly it could swing in one direction or the other. Because, you mentioned that game. That was when Jimbo, when they started to basically put him on notice that you can't go on the road as an SEC, quote, power, an upper echelon team, and Miami doesn't have their it together, and you lose in a game that they couldn't produce points. Remember that? They could not produce points. And so, yeah, that is crucial. But if you have 2 of the top 3 that people are going to the betting window and saying, gosh, these are short odds for these guys to get canned. Let's find out.
That's going to be.
You
let's
said
see
it.
who wants it,
but here's
man.
what you said. You said the closer we get to August 31st, the bigger and bigger that game is going to be for most programs.
Because it's really, people really aren't talking about it nationally. I mean, it's one of like 5 really good games that weekend. But I'm telling you, man, when we get to game week, it's going to be the biggest game of the week. You wait and see.
Oh yeah,
it 100% will be.
Yeah, and look, we have a lot of big games at the beginning of the college football campaign, and you forget. You have to remind yourself how many big ones are coming up. And, of course,
Georgia Clemson.
As we get closer and closer, it'll be so much fun, and the fans will be so jacked. And you really got to settle in and soak it up because it's just going to be gone just like that.
Notre Dame at A&M.
Yeah,
USC,
LSU, USC.
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, and heck, Lincoln Riley does have some odds there, whatever they were, 25-1, something in that neighborhood.
Yeah, 25-1.
They're not going to, I don't believe they're going to can him. Hey, do you still have that Paul Feinbaum soundbite, RJ? We got a kick out of it where he was talking about when Lincoln gets run out of Southern Cal. And
I got to call Paul and get him on because he's like crushing Lincoln Riley right now.
I call Lincoln the best half coach in America right now because he can definitely coach him up some offense. And he does have another guy ready to step in to replace Caleb Williams, but we don't know what it's going to look
Miller
like.
Moss, who played really well in the bowl game.
Yeah.
7 total touchdowns.
Yeah, we don't know what it's going to look like.
That was Feinbaum that said that Deion Sanders would. Is that the one you were talking about where he said Deion would fit right in USC?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Exactly.
All right. I remember.
Exactly.
I saw that interview. Yeah. That was.
By the way, let's get a that real quick.
All right, give it to us. Give it to us, RJ.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, we've been talking all offseason about the 2 offensive tackles here for the Jags, the 2 left tackles that both of them can't be on the roster at the beginning of the season. And our coach, Dave Campo, reiterated again during the first day of camp today when he's talking with us that he thinks one of them will be gone, one will be traded, one will be kept.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the Eagles camp, first day, offensive tackle Mekhi Becton didn't get hurt, but threw up 10 times on the sideline.
Translation, Leon?
Out of shape. Out of freaking shape. How you throw up 10 times on the first day of practice, bro?
10
Doing
times,
what?
bro.
Doing what? They don't condition. Walking out on the field, he threw up. Goodness
Hey, they did run gassers at the end. They
ran gassers at the end.
If he's out of shape, he might be too out of something might happen.
If he's out of shape,
you
know what happens when you
injured.
get
The injury odds go up. That's my point. Right.
Coach Johnson said if you come into camp and you get injured, that means you came in out of shape.
Yeah. Right. And if the Eagles need a tackle, you don't think they're going to be interested in either one of those 2 guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, they might, yeah. And that's really how you got to see it play out.
Yeah.
It's just you hate to root for injury, and honestly, I don't like the idea of losing depth on this football team.
Mm-hmm.
I think most Jaguar fans out there would agree there ain't a lot of depth in some really key areas. Take a look at the O-line, take a look at the D-line. There ain't a lot of depth. You can find maybe more possibilities in the wide receiver room, maybe in that secondary, but there's not a tremendous amount of depth on this football
Got to be
team.
a lot of praying hands on the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Interiorly.
Oh, yeah.
Because if anybody goes hurt, you're talking about, the quality of play is going to be diminished.
Yeah.
And then both sides have already struggled last year.
Yeah.
They made some welcome additions.
And like even the starting group is kind of like on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you putting that middle 3 right now?
A scale of 1 to 10? 5.
Hey, rosaries and novenas, baby. That's what they're going to be doing for them right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be. I'm going 6.
Yeah.
Look, you need to give Trevor 2.7 seconds to get rid of the football.
2.7.
Yeah, at least.
I think the highest in the NFL last year was like 2.2 or 2.3.
Oh no, it's higher than that.
Is it?
Oh yeah. Yes, it is. It's higher than that.
All right.
It ain't much higher than that, but I'm just saying 2.7 seconds. Just give it to him, and he'll be able to get rid of that football.
And
some of them choose to release the ball quicker.
You don't also do. Because I watch the offensive line. I have a tendency to overreact. It's first day of practice or whatever, but there's a lot of straight-legged going on in the interior of the offensive line.
Explain that.
I mean, just saying. But when you're in shorts and shirts, you practice knee bend. All right.
Okay.
You practice bull rush. You stop it. I saw the offensive line over there doing drills. They were doing drills where they had the pads right when the guys coming out of you punch, sit. So if you're doing all those drills right there where you punch a sit. Don't get into team period or get into the red zone period and resort back to your bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
Practice on that stuff now. I mean, I just saw a lot of straight legged. I hate to be nitpicky.
I don't blame you.
But I'm just saying, I play the position and I coach the position, so I'm watching all 5 guys.
Yeah, people want to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching all 5 guys.
You see it. You say
I'm just saying that don't get lazy with your technique. Work your fundamentals of technique, even in not full speed. That's what I'm saying.
All right, some more training camp observations that we will throw at you coming up here in just a second. Also, that Feinbaum quote on Lincoln Riley and Dion. We'll play that coming up here in just a second. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Don't forget 287-play. Call. Jump on that tee sheet. You can talk some ball finally with your buddies, whomever you're going out there to play with. Definitely do it. 287-play. You can hang out with us, Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Leon Searcy, and RJ.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. There's something special about radio play-by-play. Always has been. In Jacksonville, your place for play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hey Jaguar friends, I'm Donovan Darius, former 10-year NFL strong safety for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm hosting my free Tackling Technique Jaguars camp for kids ages 10 to 14 on July the 27th. This Jaguar camp will have some of my former Jaguar teammates out there coaching the kids on all the fundamentals that it takes to be a great tackler. To get involved, just go to DariusNextLevelTraining.com to sign up your kids ages 10 to 14. If you'd like to sponsor, you can go to the same website, DariusNextLevelTraining.com.
It's time to fire up your grill, shoot off some fireworks, and launch one of the biggest sales in the history of the United States. It's our independent sale happening right now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an EV, everyone is welcome to celebrate our independent sale with the lowest prices, largest inventory, and the most love for our country. Come celebrate with Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. You don't want to miss this.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. At my house, we had a feast from Mayport CNC Fisheries with the freshest shrimp around, and it was unbelievable. They also have oysters, scallops, mahi, and so much more. Want to eat like a local? Head to the beach and visit my friends at Mayport CNC Fisheries.
Bueller Aaron Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a paint color namer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Irving Stapler.
Hi, Howie.
So the next round is word association. I'll say a word and you give me the first word you think of. Engagement ring.
Jeweler.
Gas station.
Fueler.
Aaron Burr.
Dueler.
Air conditioning.
Wow. Jeez. It's a toughie.
Come on, Irv. The sponsor's gonna kill me now.
Oh, Bueller.
That's right, Irv. If your AC is struggling through the summer heat, the first name you should think of for fast, friendly, 5-star service is Bueller Air and Plumbing. The name to know to make sure you are cool.
Have a beer, Irv.
Cooler.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 24, 1977, Pete Rose becomes the switch hit leader with 2,881 hits, passing Frankie Frisch. Rose goes on to hold the record for most career hits in the MLB.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
This
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control, a local family-owned business that's been chosen as the exclusive pest control provider for the brand new state-of-the-art Miller Electric Performance Center. As a Kingfish customer myself, I know their effectiveness in keeping spiders, roaches, bugs, and termites out. When I trust them for my family and the Jags trust them for their business, then you can too. For the best service in town, call my friends at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and now that you have Honda boats on the showroom floor, tell them about the big boat sale.
We are excited. We got a big sale, 11th through 13th. You want to come on down, see us in person. Some of our boats are going to be up to 30 grand off.
Up to 30 grand off?
30,000 in savings. It's a big sale event.
So they can start shopping online at cyclesofjacksonville.com. The size of the boats?
Anywhere from 19 to 24 foot, all with legendary Honda outboards.
Honda and Coach, check them both out on Atlantic near Regency. Cycles of Jacksonville.
Friday on The Franchi Show. Tune in for the House Call segment brought to you by Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehab. Join the discussion as a JOI expert tells you about hip replacements. JOI, where the pros go.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
And I believe the answer after this season is Deion Sanders. He's going to be tired of Colorado because, quite frankly, it's not prime time. He's done well as he can with his son and Travis Hunter and all the Stephen A's and Shannon Sharp appearances, but that's going to dry up this year because they're not going to be that great. But you put prime in Tinseltown, and I think you have one of the great combinations in history. We just got through talking about, or you did, LeBron. LeBron has owned that town as many others before him, and I think Deion Sanders, as the coach at Southern Cal, is the answer to the problems. Lincoln Riley is a good coach. He's got a great resume. Deion Sanders just exudes exactly what that community is all about. He takes the recruiting there, which Lincoln had and then lost, but I think he sustains it, especially now. Today, the Big Ten Media Days is going on with Southern Cal, and can you imagine a year from today, Deion Sanders walks into Big Ten Media Days. Everybody else, get out of the way.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
That is the outrageous and always willing to throw something out there and see if it sticks. One Paul Feinbaum. I'm a fan. Most of you are fans as well. But he was trying to fire Lincoln at the media days before the season, before fall camp even started. He was trying to can him. I at least was on Lincoln's derriere at the end of last year saying that he may walk away from the gig because it wasn't working out and he would be looking to the National Football League. But what do you think about that one?
Yeah, that was a little surprising to me. I mean, but I mean, he does have a point about Deion and his charisma. He has the sachet. Him and Tinseltown, Hollywood, they fit together. They do. They absolutely fit together.
They paid him a lot of money.
Yeah,
they're not running him off.
No, they're not running him off.
They bought his house in Oklahoma, Norman. Believe me, they're not running him off. Even if they go like 3-9, they're not running him off because I'm guessing they'd owe him Jimbo Fisher buyout money. Mm-hmm. So I mean, unless they're willing to eat that, then I can't see it. I just can't see it.
What does Lincoln still have the? I mean, he lost Caleb. All right,
Lincoln's problem's what it always is. Mm-hmm. His defenses are terrible.
Yeah,
and he just hasn't fixed it. He didn't fix it at Oklahoma. Hasn't fixed it at USC. He's got a quarterback. Miller Moss is a good quarterback. He had 7 total touchdowns in that bowl game last year. In the only game he played. So I don't think quarterback's an issue. I don't think offense is an issue. He's one of the best offensive minds in the game, but you can't just outscore people, and I think he's finally now realizing that. Well, they got to play defense.
Yeah, 2 guys in a foot race to try and figure out how to outscore people. Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley, and both of them they're going to play each other. And so we're going to find out whether one of them has figured that part of it out or not. Now, here's a guy that has figured it out.
Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
Our man Gio is in the house. Dr. George Bari, fellowship trained under the renowned Dr. James Andrews. He comes in to talk sports injuries. If you've got one, you can hit the text line at 641-1010. Gio, how are you, man?
What's up, man?
Listen, you are back from vacay. We missed you last week. We've got some injuries to hit, and like we said, if anybody's got an ache or a pain, joint health, whatever, that you need assistance from Dr. George Bari, you can definitely hit the text line at 641-1010. You're coming back from vacation, bro.
Yeah.
Where were you?
On a lake.
On a lake.
On a lake.
What are you going to say, down by the
Anything else
river?
specific?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like you're like, come on.
Lake Oconee.
Lake Oconee.
Oh, you had a good time up there.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
very nice up there.
Let me tell you, that's a
I will
beautiful
tell you,
place.
I wasn't very excited at first because I've never been to a lake except for like walking around one. And I was like, well, there's alligators in them. Why would I go to a lake?
Yeah.
But apparently there's no alligators up there.
Oh, my gosh. It's
Did you get on a boat
gorgeous.
and everything?
Yeah.
Good for you.
All right, so
Yeah,
real
really
quick.
nice.
All right, you're reminding me of one thing. Quick story. The night that two people that one is in this room and another one not in this room almost died due to the most lightning strikes recorded in one 3-hour period ever at Lake Oconee. One of them was Matt Hayes because we were up there for the ACC kickoff. And I'm telling you, it was the most incredible lightning storm that we had. Anyway, Matt and I'm like, come on, bro, let's go out and smoke a cigar. We walk outside. Lightning just rains out in the sky, lights up the sky. We're at the presidential house, which was built, for Bush and them to come stay. Anyway, we're
The
having...
The Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah,
Where
it's at the
George
Ritz,
stayed.
but it was the presidential... But it was like, remember the presidential house? That they didn't even stay in the Ritz. The presidents would come there anyway. So we're hanging out there. I take him outside. He sees the lightning strike. He runs back inside, right? So anyway, we sit through the storm.
Wait, to be fair, real quick,
All right, fine.
Ralph Friedgen was going to come out and have a smoke with us, too, the former Maryland coach. He saw the lightning and said, I ain't going out there.
So Ralph is the other guy. Ralph and his wife got separated because he actually has a house on Lake Oconee. And he brought the boat across before that lightning took place. And then his wife got caught on the other side. Anyway, then I finally got Matt to go back outside, and it hit again. We both went back inside that time. So you didn't have any lightning storms?
There was like 2 hours, 1 or 2 hours every day where it was just bad showers.
Yeah.
And lightning, and then it stopped.
It's a gorgeous place, though. All right, so let's hit a couple training camp injuries, and then I got baseball injuries. 641-1010 if you guys want to throw an injury question Gio's way. Eric Armstead, this was a kind of a surprise. People act like they knew it all along, whatever. It was announced that he was going to go on the PUP list because of a meniscus injury. He had meniscus surgery in March. Now, here's the thing. He got hurt, I want to say, all the way back in week 13 or 14 of the year, missed the last 3 games. That would be week 14 or week 15. Missed the last 3 games, then came back and played in the postseason and played okay, Gio.
Yeah.
He played okay. Anyway, a meniscus procedure. We don't know the depth of it, but he's on the PUP.
So he's having another procedure?
No,
he had one in March.
Oh,
so he's on the PUP now.
Okay.
Which basically limits his introduction back into
So
training.
he's 4 months removed from the surgery, basically.
Yeah. So the question becomes, what type of surgery did he have? Was it a repair or just a removal? If it's a removal, being 4 months out is an issue, right? If you're still hurting, that means something is going wrong. He's not recovering. I mean, everything could have gone perfect. You just don't recover normally like you should, which happens. So that's an issue. Now, if it's a repair, not that big of a worry, because repairs, we always say, it's usually about 6 months. Now, these guys come sometimes a little quicker, but for a normal person, you're looking at 6 months to come back. So if he had a meniscus repair, which I don't know if he did or not, I'm not too worried that he's 4 months out, so maybe a little struggling on the list. If he had a meniscectomy, I'm worried about what's going on 4 months later, and he's still struggling.
And then he missed the last 5 games of the season.
5, right.
So this was week 13.
So what do you do with that? Can you replace the meniscus? Do you use like shark meniscus, or what do you do?
So you actually can replace the meniscus, but that's only done in young people with no arthritis.
Right.
You talk about teens. It's a very big surgery. You use a cadaver, someone who passed away, and they take the organs.
Can't use
and
pig
whatnot.
meniscus?
No. No. And they don't last forever. They only last, if I'm not mistaken, 10, 20 years. So it's not like too long. Not a very common procedure at all. Someone who's a football player, I guarantee he has arthritis, plus he's too old for it, so that's not happening. So you can fix it like we always talk about. 30% of it has a blood supply, the other 70% doesn't really. Or you take it out like a hangnail. And that's the question on what he had. I don't know what he had, but...
So it sounds like he had a repair, correct?
I don't know. I mean, was he on crutches for 6 weeks, right? That's the way to find out.
Yeah, we don't know.
If he was, then yes. If he wasn't, then no, right? So there's things that we can deduce by how he rehabbed without knowing for sure what happened.
Yeah. All right, so another free agent signee who had surgery in March, Gabe Davis, had a patella injury. He was back. He was out there running today.
Yeah, PCL.
Yep.
And patella, he had PCL.
PCL, sorry, PCL.
Yeah, PCL.
So, and you say all along that you think the PCL is almost as bad as the ACL, right? The injury itself.
Well, I mean, the PCL, it can be. So the PCL actually very commonly doesn't need a surgery.
Right.
Okay. You only need a surgery when you have instability with the PCL. Because you can live and play football without a PCL. Some people cannot because their knee becomes unstable. But you can definitely try to play without. And he didn't have surgery.
Yeah, he's running around now. Yeah. He's 4 months out.
Right. So I wouldn't be too worried. I wouldn't worry about it like an ACL. Right. I mean, things can still go wrong. You can still have a re-tear, et cetera. But if someone said, what do you worry more about? I'd say an ACL tear.
All right, a couple of in the baseball world, and one being the Braves. The Braves just keep getting socked with injuries. This is Ozzie Albies, who all he was trying to do was handle a play at second base, Gio, and he ends up basically he's reaching with his glove and gets caught. I'm telling you, minimally, with the runner sliding into second base and throws the glove down, hurting everything. Anyway, we're talking about a fractured wrist, pretty significant.
Yeah. So I saw the video, and it doesn't look too exciting, right? I mean, but then he broke it, and now he's not going to have surgery, to my understanding. And of course, we don't see the speed, right? Someone's sliding in. These guys running pretty fast are sliding in. It hits your wrist, and his wrist did bend a little awkward,
right?
And I wonder how bad the fracture was. Obviously, it wasn't displaced because they're not doing surgery.
They said he's going to be out about 8 weeks.
Yeah, and so we're going to put a cast on him. And then have him come back and play. The question will be the stiffness in the wrist and the soreness in the wrist after. And then hopefully, I don't know what type of fracture he has.
Like you're not playing with that soft cast, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. You can't put this. It's not like football, right? You put a soft cast in and you can go. He has to use a hand. He has a glove, right? That's his gloved hand. So the question is, after he's back playing at 8 weeks, will he have mobility in that wrist? Is it going to hurt when someone hits a ball 100 miles an hour and it hits that glove? That's not going to feel great, right? I mean, even when you break something and you're still healing, it hurts to hit your wrist.
That puts them in October.
Right.
Like if they're in the playoffs, that puts them in October.
So there's going to be a lot of questions on, and then hitting the bat, right? Hitting a 90-mile-an-hour ball with that power. Whoa. How much is that going to hurt? So 8 weeks till maybe it heals, but it's 8 weeks till he comes back. So we'll see.
Yeah, real quick, as we wrap it up, you'll look at the laundry list of what they've had. Remember, Ronald Acuna, his second significant ACL tear. Remember that, Gio?
Yes.
Earlier in the year. He's gone for the year. Spencer Strider with an elbow, gone for the year. Then you got Ozzie with the wrist, Max Fried with a forearm, Michael Harris with a hamstring, on and on and on. And so just a sucky situation for the Atlanta Braves. They can't win anything right now. To the chagrin of Gibby and JJ and Tony and Pross. It's driving them
If
all
only
crazy.
they gambled like the Dodgers, your Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, baby. Come on. All right, listen. If you do have a sports injury question, you can hit the text line 641-1010, and we'll get it on Breaking Bones Sunday morning at 7:30. Yeah. And that way we can cover some of the injuries and help you as much as we can. We got a couple left over from last week from your vacation, so we will do that. All right, Brody. They can find our
Apple,
show.
Google, Spotify, 1010XL.
All right, Dr. George Barry out the door. Make sure you check it out, and make sure you're there for Breaking Bones Sunday morning at 7:30. I did laugh when I saw one. Ask Doc about Max Fried. I got him on my fantasy team, LOL. Yeah. We care about these guys if they're on our team, or even more importantly, if they're on our fantasy team. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Fantasy drafts will be coming up.
They will.
And they'll be getting on guys, trying to figure out whether or not they're going to be able to get the job done and not get hurt. But I totally get it. But I'm telling you, Braves fans, they just got crushed this year. Injury after injury after injury, which absolutely sucks. All right, we got Shawn King coming up at the top. We're going to get back to NFL. But real quick, just talking about a couple of things coming out of the ACC kickoff and out of the Big Ten media days. And you have to at least explain this, Matt. Deshaun Foster gets up on the big media
I don't know how to
stage.
explain it, actually.
Deshaun
you know
Foster,
what? Let's just save it and we'll come back with it.
Okay,
because it's just you can't explain it.
All right, I don't know whether I want RJ to play it and edit it.
It's only a minute.
Yeah, I know, but there's like these massive gaps in time between him saying something and him not saying something. So anyway, we'll try and set it up.
The new UCLA coach, Deshaun Foster, replacing Chip Kelly.
He was such a good running back.
Yeah, he was introduced. Terrific college running back.
Yeah,
he was good NFL back too for the Panthers.
Oh yeah.
He was introduced today as the new UCLA coach at the Big Ten Media Days, and you go on this big stage, and you got the UCLA banner behind him, and in the media asks you a couple questions, and you're there for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, then you go off the stage. And typically, what happens is you go up there and you have like a little introduction, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people make fun of the SEC coaches because they filibuster. They go for 13 minutes talking about the backup left tackle because they don't want to answer questions, which is what Hugh Freeze did in 2017 with all the drama surrounding him. And it happens all the time whenever there's a coach with drama or something surrounding him. So Deshaun goes up there and just, first off, he freezes. And by freezing, I mean literally
He
freezes
froze.
and doesn't say a word. And then when he does speak, the things that he says are just, there's no way he prepared for it, number one. And number two, somebody's getting fired for it, either the people around him, the support staff, because how do you let him go up there without being prepared to say something?
It was trippy.
And then it got worse, and later in the day, when the individual Q&As, he said something else really bizarre. So, yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, we will find out. All right, real quick, Big Sarge, before we head into 3 o'clock hour and say hello to Shawn King. Aaron Rodgers says Super Bowl's the goal. We're one of 8 to 12 teams that can do it. I fully embrace any quarterback that says that.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Why play the season if you're not going to try to win the chip?
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of going to playing the football game.
Yeah.
You said 8 to 12 teams?
Yeah, 8 he said 8 to 12, and I'm not.
Franchise among the 12?
Huh?
Is this franchise among the 12?
I don't know.
Well, I do think it's a good discussion because you got to be one of 14 to get in the postseason, and this team believes that they've made enough moves to get back into the tournament, as Jack Del Rio used to always call it, and that's it. You've got to try and get into the field of 14 and then go play for it. Anything can happen, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's how you got to look at it.
You got to start with the division, and you got to win your home games.
Yeah. They're so damn important.
Yes, very much.
And by the way, if this team can go down the road and beat Miami to start the season, 1-0 versus coming back to play Cleveland 0-1, that will also be massive.
Well, don't lose to the Dolphins and South Beach. Stay in your room.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a wise piece of advice right there. All right, into the 3 o'clock hour. Let's say hello to Shawn King, former Tulane star, former Tampa Bay star. He likes looking at those odds, so we'll chat him up with some NFL talk coming up on XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
The ball comes out and it's picked up. The Jags are going to run it into the end zone. Josh Allen scores a touchdown.
1010XL.
The Jags are going to win.
Home of the Jaguars. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries
injuries that are causing you pain. We are Bari Orthopedics and online at bariorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at bariorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Hey, poker players! The Card Player Poker Tour is heading back to Best Bet Jacksonville from August 15th to the 26th. The tournament schedule is packed with excitement, featuring 9 events, including the $1,700 no-limit hold'em Mystery Bounty main event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool. Head to bestbetjacks.com for the full schedule and satellite information. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris feature incredible athletes, and it's the 3rd time the Olympics will be held in Paris. If you're planning to attend, USAPark.net Airport Parking salutes your support of our American athletes. So no matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
Are you feeling the heat? It's time to cool things down with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Contact us today at 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com. Duck Duck Air Conditioning to keep you cool and comfortable all year round.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Are you an oblivious person hogging the sidewalk like a large dying snail? Do people stuck behind you ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have tons of quality beds at every price. So anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Facing a DUI charge or even a boating under the influence charge? Well, I'm your man, DUI lawyer Malcolm Anthony at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW. Once again, 285-4LAW.
Catch all the interviews and analysis of this year's ACC kickoff.
Sold out crowd, Doak Campbell Stadium.
Coverage on 1010XL is brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, Local Union 234, and Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
Pick it here for Bout 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bout 9. Visit Bout 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bout 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes Summers here, so let's talk about something sizzling, making a Bacon 180 with a Awaken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is, my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. I'm not kidding. That's a thing. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, Mike Dempsey and Hacker, and more than 21,000 others online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
The This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. It's day one of training camp for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and head coach Doug Peterson met with media this morning to discuss how the scheme will help the two lockdown defenders, Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker.
Again, I think this is really this scheme is going to help Trayvon, is going to help Josh. I think it's just going to utilize the strengths of both of those players, and I think it's the reason why we drafted Trayvon, right? And the reason why Josh is here and we extended Josh. I mean, it's their skill set is to get after quarterbacks, and the two of them together is a pretty good group, in this league, and I just think that the changes we've made they're gonna benefit from that.
Courtesy of Jaguars.com. Stay tuned for more training camp updates with 1010XL. It's 91 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
First day of Jaguars training camp, and I know all of Duval is all sorts of fired up about the potential of getting back to the postseason. We'll see if it can get done in 2024. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Leon Searcy, and let's say hello to a guy who played the game as well right now.
Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Hello. We can wiggle it.
Former Tulane star, Tampa Bay star, Shawn King joins us now on XL Primetime. Shawn, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Happy first day of training camp.
Yeah, isn't that something? It's so funny because I interviewed Mitch Morse today, Shawn, and he came down into this Florida humidity out of Buffalo, and I'm like, have you ever experienced anything like that? He's just wiping sweat off of his face. And you know well of how hot it can be down here in training camp time, right?
It's actually a good thing, though, and Leon will tell you this. The older you get, man, any, intensive workout sweating you can do, I mean, it helps you stay at least kind of lean.
Shawn, it will only be a quarterback that will say happy training. You notice that, right? All right, a quarterback will say happy training day. Ain't no happy nothing about training day. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest, with this new collectively bargain agreement that the NFL and the players have, I mean, it's really just flag football with helmets, right? So, I mean, nothing's the same.
So
except they get paid a lot more.
That's true. I know you wish you was in this era for sure, don't you?
Well, from your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, Shawn, you've seen enough of Trevor Lawrence over the last couple of years. I mean, what is it that he does that's elite, and what are some of his shortcomings that he needs to work on?
This is an interesting one because, to me, Jacksonville caved in to what the market was doing before the player had actually earned 5 years, $275 more million. And I don't get upset with those guys, because Trevor did what any of us would do. If your agent calls and says, hey, this is what they're offering, we'd all said, okay, cool, right? But if you really think at it, fewer yards last year, lower completion percentage, fewer touchdowns, more interceptions. And then you reward him with, what does that put him? I think tied for first or second,
first
as far as yearly average, right at $55 million. Mm-hmm. And if you're honest, is he better than Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, some of these guys that he's paid higher than? I would say no. So I thought Jacksonville jumped the gun a little bit, but at the end of the day, they're committing themselves to Trevor Lawrence. Only time will tell if it's the right or wrong decision. I think if you look at him just from a skill standpoint, got a big enough arm, he's got the size, he's a good athlete for a guy his size. To me, it just comes down to being able to consistently do the right thing. I mean, you watch some of the games, and it's like, God, Trevor seems to miss a lot of layups, right? Yeah. Like, guy running open, he air mails it. Then 2 series later, he'll make a throw, and he's like, oh, my God. So I just finding consistency, I think, is the big thing for him.
Yeah, that is, Shawn, you're exactly right. That's the thing that I think stands out more than anything. He'll make a throw, and you'll say, I don't know that 2 other guys could make that in the league. And then it's just he misses things. And like you said, he misses the easy stuff. And he started out the first year where there were no easy throws for him because it was just a nightmare the entire season. But he's now progressed to the point where this has got to be his year where he becomes a guy that wins because of him, right?
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, there are some times when the team fails and you still know that that's the guy. Like, he was the best player on the field. I don't know that I always feel that way when I watch the Jags, when it comes to Trevor. And, he's a young kid. As you mentioned, the first year is a throwaway because Urban Meyer, that was a catastrophe. But again, this league is about consistency, and to whom much is given, much is required, right? So the expectations aren't going to go down, after you sign this massive deal. They're going to increase. And, having been to the playoffs a couple times, I'm sure the Jaguar fan base is like, all right, we need you to become our Mahomes. Like, when everything's imperfect around you, you still make it perfect in a way that allows us to win. So we'll see if he's ready to make that next jump.
We're talking with Shawn King, definitely been in the league and experienced a lot of good ball through his years at Tulane and in Tampa. And when you think of the bigs, you mentioned, like you said, some of the other ones that have done enough to be deserving of the contract. Who do you like in the AFC right now?
I'm going to, kind of default a little bit. I'm very opinionated. You can never count out Kansas City. It'll be interesting what Harbaugh is able to do with the Chargers. The guys that are always there are going to be there. Buffalo, we'll see what they could do without Gabe Davis, who's in Jacksonville, and Stephon Diggs, who's in your conference as well with Houston. I'm going with whoever wins the AFC North.
Okay.
And I think Baltimore was in the AFC Championship game last year. Cincinnati with a healthy Joe Burrow, we'll see. But to me, the dark horse is Pittsburgh. Like, the thing that people, I think, don't understand about Pittsburgh, they've not needed Pro Bowl quarterback play. They've just needed an average to above average quarterback play, and they haven't gotten it. So if Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, whoever wins that battle, if it's a combination of the two, if they can provide them with that, Pittsburgh's a dangerous team as well. So I'm going to go whoever wins the AFC North, makes it to the title game.
Interesting. All right. Because I was going to ask you, I would say, if I give you Kansas City in the field, so you're taking the field.
Oh, absolutely. Oh. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as good as Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have been, they won last year because their defense was elite. You lose the cornerbacks. I think he went to Tennessee, right? In that we're Snead went.
Yeah.
Then you go to so. It's hard to play that level of defense year in year out when that's not really what your head coach is. Like, Andy's an offensive guy, right? So in a perfect world, an Andy Reid coach team is going to be elite offensively, and then they'll have their years where they're elite defensively. And I think last year was that year. I'll probably see a little regression defensively. And, I mean, the AFC's good. It's not like they've been, whitewashing people. They escaped by Baltimore in a game where people really question the play calling for Baltimore. You remember they got lucky against Buffalo where they scored in 13 seconds or something crazy. So, I mean, the margins have been getting closer and closer. So I would take the field, definitely.
Shawn, I think you made a great point. I can't wait to see what Jim Harbaugh does with that Chargers offense, and specifically, obviously, with the quarterback position. I mean, he's had success in the NFL, proven success in the NFL. Do you see the Chargers as like a sleeper team?
It's interesting because statistically, Herbert has been more productive than Trevor Lawrence, but I think in a lot of ways they still have the same question marks. If you look at the fourth quarter of Charger games, Herbert comes up short a lot. I mean, you guys saw it in person. They get out to a massive lead in the playoff game, and, he kind of disappears in the second half. Jacksonville has one of the more miraculous comebacks we've seen in recent history. But I know it's a West Coast team, so I know your fan base. I don't know how much of the Chargers they get to see, but Herbert's like that a lot in the fourth quarter. So new coach, new regime. We'll see can he take the next step. You know what's interesting? Justin Herbert doesn't get any of the criticism Dak Prescott gets, and they're really the same quarterback.
Yeah.
They're similar, yeah.
It's funny because Dallas, obviously, and you know this, Shawn, just being around the game as long as you have been, is that they're America's team, so they're scrutinized times 100, it seems. But you're right. They get the love, they get the hate, the criticism, whatever. Dak had a tremendous regular season, and his defense just caved in against Green Bay, and yet they probably still were pointing the finger at Dak and Mike McCarthy more than anybody else.
Well, justifiably so in that game. Dak was playing for the other team in the first half. But overall, I mean, you'd think that Justin put up better numbers than Dak. Dak led the league in touchdown passes last year, and he's the most criticized. And I'm not saying it's not justified because he's been, extravagantly bad at times in playoff games recently. So I get it, but it's just I don't want people to think I'm attacking Trevor Lawrence. I think the same questions I have for Trevor, I have for Justin Herbert. I just use Dak as context for kind of people like you or people dislike you, kind of how the narrative can get skewed a little bit in the national media.
Yeah, it's true. A couple more for Shawn King joining us on XL Primetime. I mentioned Mike McCarthy and the criticism that he got, Shawn, and he's a Super Bowl winning coach. Doug Peterson is also a Super Bowl winning coach who might feel a little more heat this year if they don't get back to the postseason. Your thoughts on the Jaguars head man?
Well, first of all, every fan base needs to pump the brakes. Mr. Searcy will tell you this. Winning a Super Bowl is damn near impossible. The National Football League has the most parity of any professional sports league in America. Like, literally, the Houston Texans can go from the basement to winning the division and a playoff game the following year, and it not be surprising. So the amount of parity is so significant. You've got to be really damn good, but you also got to catch a couple breaks. And so for people that want to bash McCarthy and want to bash Peterson, to me, it's not about did they win a Super Bowl. It's about does the team look like they're getting better? Does it look like the coach is making the right football decisions in crucial moments in games? What kind of passion does the team play with? Does the culture look right? Those are the things that the coach can control. Winning the championship is not easy. Don't look at Belichick and recently Andy Reid, who's going for 3, by the way, first time in history, if they can do it, and think that that's the norm. It's hard. I'm talking about a team, when I got drafted at Tampa, guys, we had 5 Hall of Famers in the building. Tony Dungy, Rondé Barber, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, John Lynch. 5. We were picked to win the Super Bowl my first 5 years in the NFL. We made it once. But if you go back and look, we were picked. It's hard. It's hard to get there. So kudos anybody that can. But I think as long as Doug is showing that the team is getting better, and you can see that on Sundays, he's making the right decisions in game, then I think you guys got the right guy.
Shawn, you're right. It's hard to get there, and it's hard to get back because I ain't never been back. Early in my career, I thought I was going to go every year. Didn't see the light of day again. But I want to ask you this question about this team, though. You said this team last year, 8-3, number 1 seed in the AFC, and they collapse and go out the playoffs, man. I blamed it on leadership, all right? The owner said that it was collectively from top to bottom. Everybody was a part of the collapse. What do you go 8-3 and you collapse and don't make the playoffs after being number 1 seed? What do you attribute that to?
You have to be in the building to be able to pinpoint in this particular case what it is. But big picture is generally inexperience. When you look at Jacksonville's roster, it's talented in a lot of places, but it's really young and inexperienced in a lot of places as well. And I say that to say this, to Leon's point, I was in the NFC Championship game as a rookie. And when we lost that game, it was the Bert Emanuel catch. I was pissed off at the ref, but there was a part of me that was like, we're going to show their ass next year that you tried to cheat us. I only started 1 more year. And, as a young player, you don't really have that sense of urgency to know that these teams, these opportunities don't come along that often. And I think sometimes inexperience rears its ugly head in those situations. And that's where if you really got a dude at head coach or really got a dude at quarterback, they're able to stabilize, those low points and make them so they aren't extended and they don't last more than a week or 2. So there's some growth. If you guys are boots on the ground in Jacksonville. So if there's some growth with Coach Peterson, I definitely think from afar there looks to be some growth with Trevor. That's kind of how you can gauge it. Are they mature enough and have they instilled a strong enough culture so that the team doesn't go through those extended lapses like they did at the end of last year?
Yeah, that is the key, 100%. I can't believe you – I'm sure you took a lot of fans back with that Bert Emanuel catch, or was it a catch? Do you know, like you said, you were only around for, a year after that. They've been trying to figure out what a catch is since that Bert Emanuel play.
Yeah, I was there, man. And I'm just telling you, to those young guys – take advantage of every opportunity. You just don't. And the thing that we ultimately ended up winning the Super Bowl, but as a young player, you look back and Donnie Abraham didn't, and Hardy Nickerson didn't, and Steve White, bless, he didn't. And those are the things that kind of burn you up a little bit because we were good enough that year to win it. And so, Jacksonville, maybe this year's team isn't as good. Losing Calvin Ridley. By the way, I had Brian Thomas as my number one wide receiver in the draft, so I am high on your first-round pick from LSU. I think he's the real deal. So back to my point, these chances don't come along that often. So when you have a good team and you got an opportunity, you got to seize it.
Hey, before we let you go, Shawn, did the Bucs make the right move with Baker Mayfield? Like, is he?
They didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
They didn't have a choice. Hopefully. I mean, Baker was the number one pick, so he's not a guy that didn't come into the league without expectations. He had some success in Cleveland. I thought Baker got a little too full of Baker, which isn't his fault. So to all of you advertisers and marketers out there, stop giving these big deals to guys that haven't proven it. That's one of the biggest problems in sports we have. People become a superstar based on potential as opposed to production. And that kind of happened to Baker Mayfield. But now he's got a chance to reset. He's been a couple places. He saw what it's like not to be in the spotlight. He's taken it and gotten better, and now he has his own team again, so we'll see what he does with it.
All right, real quick, since you mentioned Brian Thomas Jr., top of your board.
Baller.
Yeah, what do you like about him?
Everything. Size, body control, hand-eye coordination. I mean, he's the total package. I'm just telling you, this was a good receiver draft, but I think when it's all said and done, people are going to look back like, damn, they took some of these other guys over him. They let him drop to 23.
Brian, hey, Shawn, last time I saw you, we was in Vegas smoking a cigar. When the last time you lit one up?
I saw you tapping ass. Shout out. Matter of fact, I'm going to send RJ, I got to give you my address, man. Send me some of those Searcy's, man.
I got you. Yeah. I got you.
All right, that sounds
I got to
good.
get one. I got to get one shout out before I leave. You guys made a great free agent acquisition. He's a kid I coached back at USF, Dearness Johnson. He's going to be tremendous as a fill-in for Etienne.
Yeah. I liked him when they brought him in last year. He had a couple big plays early. I wish they would have fed him a little bit more, but yeah, I like him. Thanks, my man. We appreciate it very much, and we'll hopefully catch up soon.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Shawn King, the idea of Brian Thomas Jr. coming in and being a legit one, that's desperately what they need.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if history speaks well,
yeah,
LSU wide receivers, they're legit.
Yeah, it's a good crop. By the way, you probably could have named any of those other positions you named because they've kicked out a lot of good talent at a lot of positions. That's for sure. It is XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Center, Brad Meester. Big shout out to everybody in Duval.
I'm Brad Meester on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I've depended on South State for my banking needs as long as they've been serving Duval. Whether you're saving for retirement, purchasing a home, starting a business, your goals are their commitment. With forward-thinking, personalized banking solutions and best-in-class service, South State is ready to help you navigate your financial journey. Connect at southstatebank.com or drop by any of the 5 local South State offices. South State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
He's not Pistol Pete, he's Pete Prisco.
Been on the wanted list almost 20 years.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Soccer fans, don't miss your chance to see teams from the English Premier League compete in the Stateside Cup right here in Jacksonville. Competition will be fierce when Wolves and West Ham United take the pitch under the lights at Everbank Stadium July 27th. It's Premier Soccer at a premier venue for one night only. Tickets are going fast. Buy yours today at statesidecup.com.
This is Hayes Carlyon for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
22 minutes after the 3 o'clock hour, it's XL Primetime. Thanks for hanging out with us. And by the way, Facebook Live having a little bit of problem with that. So I don't know whether we're on right now or not, but we apologize. Facebook Live, we hope to be there along with all the other social channels as often as we can, but we're hearing that we're not. So hopefully we'll be able to get that fixed. And then also, if you missed any of the show, like some of Shawn King, he was killer. All you got to do is go back. Go to YouTube. You can stream us anytime, or you go back and find the whole show and play it again, because we plan on covering everything, including our observations from camp, which we need to get back to right now. But real quick, what Shawn King said was 100%, that it is not easy to get there. And if you've got the ingredients, you got to jump on it and take advantage of it.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of opportunities. I mean, he understood it. He just said he played in the NFC Championship game his rookie year, and he thought out of lack of experience that it was just going to be year after year after year. And he ended up only playing one more year. So, yeah, absolutely. And there was another interesting thing he talked about when I asked him about the team that started 8-3 and they collapsed. Mm-hmm. He was talking about youth. He said that they had never been in this type of position. Remember I said they didn't this team didn't know how to handle success well, you know, and didn't know how to maintain it. I mean, it was interesting when he said it. This team was so young and inexperienced and hadn't been in this position before.
Right.
They didn't know how to react to it when they started reeling and kind of reel it back in.
And remember some of the comments, we got this, we know when to peak at the right time, all that type of stuff. And then there's, not by accident, they went out and got veterans that were in postseason locker rooms, a lot of them that played in a bunch of big-time games. All right, so let's make this the 10-10 take right now because as we mentioned that, going and getting that experience, Mitch Morse, we've got an interview with him coming up in just a sec.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
I think everyone's just got a little football feel in the back of their mind right now. So when you start thinking about your football tailgates, your barbecues, your parties, whatever it might be, think about Sonny's Barbecue. And, of course, any day of the week, you're starting to get hungry right now, just head on through any one of your area Sonny's. Go there and dine in or pick it up curbside. They can definitely take care of you. So the first thing that I think we see on day one of training camp is more possibilities at a lot of important positions. Is there depth? You'd like to always have a little bit more, but I'm seeing more guys that can make more plays for this football team. And on the defensive side of the football, instead of just giving up big play after big play, letting that other team hold it for a long, long time and ultimately getting in the end zone, that's going to stop under Ryan Nielsen's watch. I believe that. They're going to try and create some pressure, and they are definitely going to be better on that side of the ball. That's the 10-10 take because day one, I'm seeing a lot of focus and attention on that side of the ball, matching up well against what looks like to be a pretty good offense.
Yeah. The one thing I noticed about the defense, I said it, active hands. Getting after the ball, you know, slapping the ball away, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the intensity was ramped up. You know, he had them energized. You know, the guys were chest bumping and high-fiving after they made a defensive play. Yeah, I love the enthusiasm that I'm seeing from the defense so far.
Travis Gibson, Yasir Abdul, Deshaun Dixon. Those are your three rush ends behind.
Yeah, there's
behind Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. Okay?
And we've said it. I think defense,
unless they moved Devin Lloyd out there, which they could.
Yeah, they easily could.
Their ability to get the quarterback after those first two guys who are very good, and I've been saying all along, I think Trayvon Walker's going to have a big year, but it drops significantly.
Yeah, and so that's where I think you're the most worried.
That's what I'm watching this camp. I want to watch the guys off the edge outside of Josh Hines, Allen, and Trayvon Walker. Can they find a third guy?
Yeah. Line of scrimmage, we know how important it is, and we also know how kind of thin it looks right now when it comes to depth.
Well, I mean, also, I totally agree with you as far as collapsing the pocket as well, interiorly. I mean, that's going to help the guys on the rush ends as well. So, you know, Eric Armstead is not practicing right now, so hopefully we can get him back. And then, you know, Devin, then you got Devon Hamilton, you know, hopefully – you know, he can bounce back from last year being hurt. He can come back and have a good camp as well.
Yeah. And when the pads come on, we'll get a little bit better feel as far as what it looks like. But there's no question that this team just started to dip late at the worst possible time and let the Jake Flipping Brownings of the world and Joe Flipping Flacco of the world just work up and down the field on this defense. And so that is just
think about that. Those three games, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Titans.
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
It drives you nuts. It really does, especially the way they got handled by a 5-win team at the end of the year, which you would not have expected.
It literally should have been 12-5 last year. Those three teams. You got to be kidding me. Those three teams.
And
Trevor threw 3 picks in that Browns game.
I know, because we were going over it yesterday, and even though they still scored 31 points, it was just not good. And so both sides of the ball you could point at in that situation. So, yeah, it drives you a little crazy. But those are the things, those are the opportunities that this football team has. And then you just got to drill it down. Did Trent Baalke do enough? Did he go out and get enough guys with enough experience, blending it with the youth that Shawn King was referring to, Leon, and get all these guys working together. I think what we've heard in the offseason is that we're going to go back to that idea. You guys we're going to teach like mothers, and you're going to have to be accountable for your play. We're going to make sure we do not ignore any situation to make sure you're prepared for it. Because they didn't. I don't believe they did enough of that last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, the inexperience was prevalent last year when this team couldn't just find. All they needed was one game. You can't win one, and those games that we just mentioned, they were winnable.
Yeah, 1 of 6.
They were winnable, but this team just could not find a way to do it, and that's unfortunate. Especially when they started the way they started in '83, the number one seed in the AFC, to not be able to finish the task is a little. Well, it's disheartening and it's a little bit embarrassing, to be quite honest with you.
Well, you can't play at home the way they played at home.
No, they were terrible at home.
You can't. Yeah. You've got 8 or 9 games. You've got to win. You got to go 6-2, 7-2, or once you get past that number, once you start getting into 3 losses, 4 losses, that's a problem.
Oh yeah, yeah. You. There's a reason you have home field advantage.
Yeah, if you go 7-2 at home, you go 50-50 on the road. That's 11-6. You're in the playoffs.
Right.
That's all you got to do.
Almost every. Yeah. It would be a rare thing, but if you can do that, and again, like I think that's
you can
a
even
good
go
number.
3-5. You're still in at 10 wins, I think.
Yeah,
but that's a good number. No more than 2. You lose 3 at home, you are at risk going forward as far as making the postseason. And the easiest way to the postseason is through the division, winning it over relying on a wild card. That's for sure. All right, so Mitch Morse knows a lot about this. He hadn't been able to get to the Super Bowl with the Buffalo Bills last 4 seasons, but let's hear what he has to say as far as what he thinks of this team so far, the coach, the quarterback, all of that, the offensive line included. Coming up, a golf club of Southampton Wednesday. Don't forget, 2-8-7 play. Head on out. You'll enjoy a great 9-hole game, food afterwards, prizes, and just hanging out. That's really, really important when you think about it, being with your buds. Do it at the golf club of Southampton.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
You have heard about the 1010XL YouTube channel. Now check out our team-specific channels, 1010XL Jaguars, 1010XL Gators, and 1010XL Seminoles, bringing up specific, up-to-the-minute video coverage of your favorite local team. And find us on YouTube today.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. We've seen over the last 6 months, card collectors have loved storing their graded cards in Zion cases. Whether it's for a single card or a few dozen, Zion makes some of the best hardcover cases. In a variety of sizes and colors, Zion card cases. At Showtime, Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Vegas, baby. This is Taylor Dahl from Helmets and Heels, and we're sending one lucky listener to Circa Resort and Casino this December. Win a free 3-night stay with $200 food and beverage credit, plus a daybed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive 143-foot screen at Circa, you'll huddle up with the Heels at the Overhang Bar for our pregame tailgates on Friday with drink specials and giveaways. For a chance to win this all-in package to Circa with Helmets and Heels, enter at 1010xl.com/Vegas.
And if you've already booked your flight to Vegas for the big game and are still searching for accommodations, Circa Resort and Casino has a special rate just for Jacksonville fans. Mia here, and for just $500, get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 in food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available till August 30th, so act now. Book and join the Heels in Vegas. Visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest the York Cabana side. Slade Hot Yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adults at a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And look who's back and causing a stir. Our refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 24, 1977, Pete Rose becomes the switch hit leader with 2,881 hits, passing Frankie Frisch. Rose goes on to hold the record for most career hits in the MLB.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
I've known Glenn Cohen for a long time as a friend and a lawyer. Persistent and fair, Glenn and his firm have represented clients from North Florida and South Georgia for over 40 years in all kinds of personal injury cases. If I had such a case, call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen, and Sullivan.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
Roland Reese Plumbing, one of the great stories for me because I needed them and they were there. And that's how simple it is. A plumber, you call them when you got a leak and you can't wait a week. Roland Reese came through. My water heater was just on bust, and it was leaking out, and he said, don't worry about it. We've got what it's going to take to get there stat. They were in there within a day's time, replaced a big old water heater, made sure I had warm water. I wasn't taking any cold showers. They can do it for you as well. 24/7 emergency service available where quality and experience count. Remember, log on plumbingjacksonville.com and check out Roland Reese Plumbing.
Beard's Diamond's incredible Christmas and July sale is back.
Everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 40% off.
But it's only happening till July 31st.
Don't shop anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center.
RJ Saunders here, sports lovers. I recently took a tip from Frank Frangie when I needed to send flowers to my mother. Frank told me that Kuhn Flowers is the only florist he ever uses. So that's what I do now. I use Kuhn Flowers. Find them online at kuhnflowers.com.
The following people are under the influence of no air conditioning.
Oh, man.
Is it ever hot? I can't get up. My legs are stuck to the chair.
Can guys go through menopause?
Why?
I think I'm having a hot flash.
Don't let no AC happen to you. Call Duck Air Conditioning, available 24 hours a day, and they'll fix it right the first time. When your AC system needs a repair, it's time to call Duck Air, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckac.com. Duck Air Conditioning, a division of Duck Rooter.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
3:37, it's XL Primetime. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Don't forget 287-PLAY. You can jump on the tee sheet this afternoon or anytime you want to go out and play a little golf. You can do it at the Golf Club of Southampton. They got Thursday night trivia, Friday night music on the patio with always a good menu and some cold ones, that's for sure. Now, I want you guys to hear from Mitch Morse. Now, Leon, when you think of you as a free agent, you came in and they viewed you as a key cog, a key piece to come in. They robbed inside the division. They brought you to help secure the right side of the line. And in the case of Mitch Morse, they're robbing from inside the AFC and trying to make sure they fix that offensive line.
Yeah, well, it needs to be fixed, especially interiorly. So you got to start at the center position, which is the most important position on the offensive line. He's the quarterback. He sets the table for everybody else to eat, calls the plays and all that kind of stuff. And the one thing that this team missed badly last year is that this team couldn't get any movement. And, Mitch Morse is a solid veteran, plays with leverage. And hopefully, he can help with the guards because the reason why Fortner was made a scapegoat was because the guards, even though they were lackluster at times, you can go back to the fact that if the center, the key cog in the system, is not operating well, then the other components around them is not going to operate well. So you're hoping with Mitch Morse, veteran, solid, that it can elevate the play of the guards next to him.
All right, so let's hear from him. He's 6'5", by the way, Matt. He's got some height to him, but he's slender, like he's a technician. And so he's not like doesn't look like a mauler. Luke Fortner does look bigger. I don't know if you guys checked on him today, but he does look a little bit bigger. But here's the conversation with one of the new free agents of your Jaguars. I'm with Mitch Morse. He's one of the newest Jacksonville Jaguars. You're sweating like a son of a gun. Did you sweat like this up in Buffalo?
Rarely. And it was usually in the sauna that they had up there. But no, I think Coach is doing a good job of slowly acclimating us to this heat. It's part of the gig. And for us, it's just kind of working through it, understanding how to mitigate the effects. You can't fully escape it, but you do what you can. And they're totally apt for what the players need, and it's on us to take care of ourselves and also seek for help because they have plenty of it.
All right, so let's get to what needs to happen or what they're hoping to happen on the offensive line. You've been brought in to replace Luke Fortner. You're the starter at center. How good can this line be to return to form?
Well, I think it's a slow burn, man. I think we have so many practices ahead of us, so many walkthroughs that and you look at that, and it's an extensive list, but if you don't take advantage of the days, and you're going to make mistakes, but if you don't correct those and work to even make walkthrough reps as simulated as possible, then you're going to miss out, and it's going to be week one, and you're going to have lost plenty of opportunities. So for us, it's not about being perfect, but it's about working together. I think that's the biggest thing, is everyone working on the same page, understanding what each play dictates in regards to what technique is going to complement the other person knowing what to expect the person next to him's technique is going to be, and then working together. I mean, you want to be road graders and maulers, but you also want to be on the same page so that you can have 5 nasty dudes just doing their own thing, and you're going to get a negative to a 1-yard gain, or you can all work together, still be nasty and aggressive and actually hit something. But that's all about cohesiveness and being kind of one mind as much as you can be.
Because if there was a criticism about the line, is they couldn't get a 3rd and 1, couldn't get a 4th and 1 in critical times. So leadership-wise and you guys coming together, how have you been involved in trying to make sure that does happen?
It's still so early to say. We understand the onus that's brought upon us, the expectations that are brought with this group, and I think we're receptive to those. We also understand the criticism, and it's a position that's rarely thanked, and that's okay. We understand what our job is to do, and that's to progressively help move the ball down the field, no matter what the yardage, no matter what the down or distance, and then hopefully end up with points at the end of the drive. But it takes all 5 of us to work together, and that's the beautiful thing about football.
Well, you guys were talking with Mitch Morse, 10-year veteran, up with Buffalo, drafted by Kansas City, but you guys were kind of a lightning package. When you needed to score, you could get down the field and score with Josh Allen. What's it like to go from a talented quarterback like him to Trevor?
Trevor's immensely talented, brings his own set of skills, has a competitive attitude about him, knows exactly what he wants, is not afraid to hold people accountable, but constructively. I think that's a huge thing. It's easy to yell at guys. What's that going to do? You'd rather be constructive, because everyone's their own biggest critic. So he's so constructive and builds everyone up around him and has great relationships with everyone, so it's easy to go to battle with that guy.
Now, what about Doug? When you came in the league in Kansas City, he was there. He certainly knows who you are. You're a technician. You've got the size and strength to do it. What do you think about Doug and maybe his new handprints on this offense?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been so long, right? Like, I remember more of Doug as the man rather than the schematics, and he hasn't changed a bit. He's just a good man who holds his football team to high standard, but does it in a way that's also not detrimental to people's, psyches. So he does a good job of bringing the best out of people without being a yeller.
What do you think about Missouri and the chance to make the college football playoff? Let's throw a little college ball at you real quick. Eli Drinkowitz has done a hell of a job.
There's no doubt. Eli Drinkowitz has done an amazing job. Is, I think, really taking the recruiting trail ablaze and not afraid to shake things up and be himself. And I think players see that and they gravitate towards that. He's unabashedly himself, and I think that really resonates with people.
But you coming from Missouri, you got to appreciate a 12-team playoff now to give those teams a chance.
Sure, yeah, it's a double-edged sword. The guys are going to have to play more football. It's becoming more amateur professional than it was when I was in there, and I don't envy those guys. I also don't envy the transfer portal because, it's screwing the walk-ons. So I think it kind of screws the walk-on guys, and that's me. That's the doom of every generation, is to think that their generation knew what was going on or how to do it. It is what it is. So.
Well, they definitely have a shot. Mitch, we appreciate your time. Enjoy Jacksonville.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Love the MIZ talk.
Yeah,
love it.
Mizzou.
Love it.
Because when he played, he didn't have that idea of a 12-team playoff.
I mean, none of these guys did. It's all new for everybody. Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I understand what he's saying, that you got to work as a team and you got to be comfortable with each other. And I get that's what Doug Peterson meant when he said, look, these guys only played at the same time one time last year. And we all say, yeah, well, the only time when they got their ass kicked against the Titans when everything was on the line. Yeah. So I get all of that, and he's right when he says that. But these guys got to stay healthy. And you literally are hoping that a guy in the downside of his career at right guard plays above level. Mitch also is at the downside of his career. I'm not saying these guys aren't good players. I'm just saying they're on the downside of their career. So you got to hope they play above where they're at level-wise. And then you got to hope, a guy like Ezra Cleveland, who is more of an athlete than a mauler, also plays above his level. Then you got a chance to do something.
Yeah, well, listen, my own concern with this team is their inability to get short yardage when it's needed. And that's just about putting on your big boy pants, going to work. I mean, I know he said that if you got 5 dogs, and I've seen 5 dogs,
individual
dogs just get 1 yard, and then you've seen if you got 5 dogs, you're gonna get a yard. Okay, you're gonna get more than a yard. I'm saying, unfortunately, this team over the last couple of years has had offensive line wise haven't been dogs. I mean, I'm not saying anything new. I mean, statistically, they're at the bottom when it comes to run blocking, and at the bottom when it comes to pass protection. Last 2 years. I mean, so that's got to be fixed. That's the issue. That's got to be fixed. That's something. And what the reason why it needs to be fixed, because now our quarterback is getting injured because of your inability to protect them and your inability to run the football.
Plus, Joe, I don't think we're breaking any news by saying if they struggle at guard this year, that's going to be a giant flaw that could have been rectified and wasn't.
Oh, no question. I think
the draft,
we have made it pretty clear that this
much like defensive end behind the 2 starters last year.
Yeah, last year was a defensive end. This year will be the interior offensive line. There's no question about it. They made one change. They think the one change will add to an improvement across the board, and we're still going to have our eyes on, is Cam Robinson going to have one of his best years here, or is Walker going to beat him out and maybe have his best year here? But all of that has to come together. Is Anton going to ascend even more? He struggled a little bit here and there, but then finished pretty good. And so is he going to be able to take it to another level?
Not only that, too, Leon, is the last time Cam was on like a money year,
best game of his career, best season of his career.
Mm-hmm.
He's on another money year right now.
Yeah, he is. And I think he understands the likelihood of him probably re-signing here, probably null and void.
But he can get a lot of money from someone else.
But yeah, absolutely. Because he's what, 30 at the most, 29.
He's going to be 29.
He's been in the league 8 years. Been in the league 8 years, right? So yeah, you can get another 3 to 5 year deal with some other team. But Walker Little has to be able to establish himself as the future left tackle before you just let him walk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And when Cam came in, I was trying to go back and look at the numbers when we were doing some of those comparisons. But 2017, we all know how good that was. And he was a second-round draft pick and probably came in hungry based on that alone, that he wasn't a first-rounder. Remember Nick said it? Nick Saban said it back then. Best, maybe I'm paraphrasing, most complete player we've ever had at that position or as an offensive lineman. And so we were expecting great things. And then he started to immediately be a critical piece on that offensive line.
Right.
And then, like you said, it's just been kind of a, an up and down, not as great or dominant as you'd like to see for a guy who's got a pretty good contract.
But when he's good, like his last contract here, when he played his best, Leon, he showed flashes of being an elite type left tackle, did he not?
Yeah, he showed flashes of it, but barring the injuries, he's had the injury issues, and he's had the suspension issues and all that other kind of stuff. But yeah, when he's been called to play, he plays.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, when he's been called to play, he plays.
All right, let's do it right now, RJ, before we are done.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
My take today was day one of training camp. I absolutely loved it. I sweated profusely out there. I lost at least 10 pounds. I'm glad I'm there close enough to the station where I could shower and get myself together. But the big fella lost a few LBs out there. But I had a great time. No, I had a great time. I love the intensity of both sides of the ball, and I just hope they just keep it up.
Yeah. My take was the same thing. Day one practice. Pads later in the week, correct? Or is it Sunday or Monday?
It'll be Sunday or Monday.
Sunday or Monday. All right. So we got a few days before we hit the pads, but Spiders will come on soon, I would imagine, right? Thursday or Friday, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're getting there. First NFL game a week from tomorrow. It's Hall of Fame game.
It is nuts. And I'll just follow the takeaway with that. Just all of Duval, you filled up the stands today. You filled up the parking lot. We know how excited you are for this. A lot of people have labeled this one of the biggest, most important off seasons. Well, think about it with everything that has been done. And now you hope that there's enough pieces in place to start the build back to the
good crowd, by the way, today.
It
good crowd.
Really was, yeah. So I'll give them all the credit in the world. But I'm just going to call it the build back to the postseason and see if they can do it.
I don't know if I'd want to use those words.
I just like doing the build back, just in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
Build back. I'm not even going to say the last word.
A little too close.
I'm not even going to say the last word. I'm just going to say build back to the postseason. We are done. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. You got the Francis Show coming up next. Thanks to Derek DeStefano and all the boys out there. That's DeStefano, all the vowels except you. And you can definitely count on that family operation with big things coming at the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and get on the tee sheet this afternoon. We hand it off to the Francis Show coming up next, and we'll see some of you guys out at training camp tomorrow. So shout us out if you are out there. We'd love to say hey. And thanks for listening to XL Primetime, as always.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt